Good frosty morning, everybody. Look at that. There's got to be a 1/4 inch of frost on the windshield of the truck this morning. So thank goodness for new vehicles that have heated seats and steering wheels. So the plan today is we've got the 2 cameras with us, the GoPro. Gage and I are going to go for a long drive and get out and take a walk on some old logging roads. So if I can convince Gage to jump into the back of the truck, we'll go for a drive together. If not, I'll leave him at home. All right, buddy, last chance. Up, up. Come on. Come on, up. Gage, up. Come on. Oh, you lazy dog. Come on, buddy. Come on, up. You know what you are? You're a big baby. You are a big baby. All right, guys, I guess Gage and I are going for a ride together in the front of the truck because he refuses to get in the back. I don't know what's up with that. When I first got the truck, he jumped up in there, no problem. Now he's just lazy. But it is cold today, so I don't blame him. So I'm going to take a drive today about 60 kilometers north of here to some old logging roads, territory we've never been in, close to Temagami, and we're going to just look for sign in there, and we're going to get out and walk some logging roads. Like I've said before, I think if Bigfoot is a real creature and we're getting the cold temperatures that we're getting now, they're going to migrate through my area but head south, where winters are just warmer and more livable because there's no food here in the winter. There's 4 feet, 6 feet of snow, depending on the year and the area. And I don't know how a creature could survive. Unless they were hibernating underground, I think the only thing is migrate through here and head south. So let's go look for signs of anything moving on some of these old back logging roads. Ha! There goes a great big fisher. Is that a fisher? Yep. I pulled over to take a photograph here, and he just came out of the bush. That's a big boy. And Gage just saw him now. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys the beautiful frost we've got this morning and how fast it's melting. We're up here at elevation now, so we've probably come up 1,000 feet from my place, and the frost is twice as thick up here. So I've been sitting here watching this swamp for 20 minutes. And this is why I come back these old roads. You just never know what you're going to see. Beautiful spot. Nothing moving out there. But I expect to see a moose come out at any second. It's just so serene. If you guys watched the video last week, I said I saw a white rabbit running through the bush. Well, the cold temperatures are here. The frost is so thick this morning that if there were any creature here that wanted to get out of Dodge, now would be the time. It's only going to get worse from this point on. Probably -3 or -4 last night, and we're gonna have a high of about 6 today. So this is late fall, and Northern Ontario winters are not easy winters. So like I've said before, you guys know my theory on this. So what do we know about big animals that survive up here in these cold temperatures? Well, most of them are omnivores. Think of bears, right? They're going to eat plants and they're going to eat meat. And I think that would be the case for these guys as well. In the winter, if they do stay up here, you'd have to eat meat, I think, because there's no plants unless you're storing stuff. And I don't know of anybody who's ever found a Bigfoot cache anywhere. So is that a thing? Could that be a thing? See a big old swamp over here to the left. So the deer avoid my place because of Gage now. They know he's there and he chases them. But another sign of winter this morning, I woke up to deer in the front yard eating the last of my wife's garden. You just get to a time and a temperature where animals say, I gotta do what I gotta do and I'll take that chance. So this morning there was 3 deer in the yard and they were just having a field day on the last of my wife's flowers. So I've passed a couple of moose hunters on the trail here this morning, and you guys can see behind me up there in the tree, there's an old stand. Lots of guys hunt right off these roads. Shouldn't be, because you never know who's gonna come walking down the road or drive around the corner. Not a best practice, but you see it all the time. Personally, I think that's pretty lazy if you're gonna just hunt right on the road. You know, even my grandfather, when he was 80, could still get 300, 500 yards off in the bush and go hunt a side hill somewhere where there's no chance of shooting somebody walking down the road. But you see it all the time. That's why today, even though I'm not hunting, I'm wearing my hunter orange. And I watched a David Paulides video yesterday. I watch all his videos, and I have to disagree with what he said. He was wearing his camo. And he said he was talking about hunters and people in the bush this time of year that get shot, and that's why he was wearing his camo. Well, David, you don't want to wear camo where people are hunting, because there are a lot of crazies out there who will shoot at anything that moves in the bush. And if you are wearing camo and blending in and they don't know what you are, you're increasing that chance of getting shot. You know, he had 2 little reflective stripes going down the front of his shirt. Hey, that ain't enough, man. I want full body orange this time of year. I want people to see me from a mile away and know that's a human being. And best practice, you guys should do the same thing. Wear orange if you're out in an area where there's hunting going on. You never know what you'll see crossing these old logging roads back here. Moose, deer, bear, all the time. So why not Sasquatch? A lot of reports that come in, especially from Northern Ontario and throughout Canada, are guys out hunting. So if we go out and we travel those same roads and go to those same places where these guys are hunting, hey, we have to be increasing our chances, right? We're about 50 kilometers away from the nearest population center out here, so hey, we could see anything. So I've just randomly picked one old logging road here out of 100, and Gage and I are going to go for an hour walk just to see what we can see. Okay, let's get out and go for a walk. Yep, it's cold. It is frosty this morning. Well, I just thought that was a really cool rock right here, guys, so I thought I'd show it to you. Look at that. Metamorphic. That means it was melted back in the day, 4 billion years ago. Actually, while we're looking at this rock, I just noticed the one beside it here. It's got a big quartz vein right on top. Ha! They're both very cool. Actually, there is a garnet in that little piece of quartz I just showed you guys. I took a closer look. We are nowhere near the spot where my dad and I were looking. We're, 50, 60 kilometers from there. There's a tiny little garnet here. I'm going to show you guys. So you can see there's actually a bunch of little tiny garnets in here, but the one I was looking at with my eyeball is right here. Very tiny, but that is a red garnet. I wish I had brought my rock hounding tools with me. I would chip that off of there. It's just laying up on top, and it's nice and pink, and a really nice quartz specimen right there. And yes, in case you're wondering, we are going to go back and try to find that spot again. We think we were very close that day my dad and I went out, and my brother and my uncle and my dad and I have all talked, and we kind of agreed we think we know where it is. So that will be an upcoming adventure for sure. So this one has a twist to it right here. And there are 3 right beside each other. Well, more than 3, I guess. Another one broken right there. Another one broken down here. One that's bent over and one that's broken. And then up here there's a couple more. Yeah, we're probably 1 or 2 degrees right now, so the bush is melting, but it is cold. I don't care what kind of creature you are, to survive sleeping out here in these temperatures, especially when it gets down -20 and below that, ooh, you've got to be a pack animal. You got to herd up, you got to stay together for warmth. There's all these things that go into it. And we definitely know that Bigfoot aren't pack animals. If we know anything about Bigfoot, I would think that is the one thing we don't know, that, they're not traveling in large herds. Hey, I guess we finally figured out the one definitive thing, right? The one thing we know about Bigfoot, they are not a herd animal. The bush can be almost meditative. You can just reset yourself when you're out here. I know you guys only get the talking bits, but I'll spend 45 minutes just standing watching a swamp or listening to all the melt that's occurring around me. It just resets your soul. And I encourage all of you guys to get out and enjoy, check out spend time in your wild places that you have around your house. If you don't have any, plan a trip, you know, even just a day or two every month could totally revitalize you. Why couldn't something just run across the road right now while I'm filming, while I'm standing here quiet? Well, it could happen. Is it gonna happen? Not if you're all noisy and jumping around, it's not gonna happen. You're noisy. All right, guys, I gotta get back to the city. I got some real work I have to do, so thanks for tagging along, and we'll do this again as soon as we can. I had fun, it was a beautiful morning, and I feel rejuvenated. I hope you do too. Catch you in the next adventure.